Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to discuss the biggest changes in the NBA's new collective bargaining agreement, which will impact teams, players, and the league as a whole. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss any of our videos. Now let's get started. The NBA and the National Basketball Players Association have agreed on a new collective bargaining agreement that will last until June 30th, 2029. While there aren't any major changes like a new super-duper max contract or the end of the one-and-done rule, there are some modifications to the luxury tax rules that will have a significant impact on teams and players. One of the biggest changes in the new CBA is the introduction of 2 apron levels above the luxury tax line. These apron levels come with harsher luxury tax penalties, as well as restrictions on what teams can do with their rosters. For the 2023-24 season, the salary cap is projected to be $134 million, with the luxury tax line set at $162 million. The first apron level is set at $7 million above the luxury tax level, while the second apron is set at $17.5 million above the tax threshold. These new apron levels will have significant implications for big spending teams like the Golden State Warriors, Louisiana Clippers, and Boston Celtics, who will face greater challenges in keeping their rosters together. For example, teams over the second apron will no longer have access to the taxpayer mid-level exception, which would have prevented the Warriors from signing Donte DiVincenzo last season. Additionally, teams over either apron will be prevented from signing a player waived during the regular season if that player's pre-waiver salary was larger than the non-taxpayer mid-level exception. Trades will also become more difficult for teams over the apron levels, as the salary matching exception will be reduced from 125% to 110% starting this offseason. Furthermore, starting in the 2024 offseason, teams over the second apron will no longer be able to aggregate salaries to trade for a single player making more money. Another major change in the new CBA is the increase in the maximum salary a player can earn in the first year of an extension from 120% to 140%. This change affects players like Boston Celtics' Jaylen Brown, who is now eligible to sign a 4-year, $189 million max extension. However, if Brown earns All-NBA this season, he could earn an additional $100 million over 5 seasons. Now, we're diving deep into the recent changes in the CBA between the NBA and the NBPA. Both parties have agreed on a new 7-year deal, and we're here to dissect the NBA's goals and what the union gets in return. Starting with the double secret apron, it's clear why Warriors forward Draymond Green expressed his unhappiness with the new CBA on Twitter. While the rules don't prevent the Warriors from re-signing or extending their own free agents, staying over the second apron for more than a couple of seasons looks prohibitively painful. The possibility of having a team's draft pick move to the end of the first round should be a major deterrent. As a result, the second apron should work to reduce the gap in team payrolls between the highest and lowest spending teams. However, it'll force teams such as the Clippers and Warriors to make some difficult choices on who to retain. Surprisingly, the NBPA was willing to concede a harder limitation on team spending. So, what did they get in this deal in return? The new CBA brings several key economic improvements for players. They can now extend for 140% of their current salary, which is a significant upgrade. Additionally, players entering the final year of their rookie deals are now allowed to sign 5-year extensions for any salary. Other improvements include the ability for players to decline the player option in their contract and extend their contract for a lower salary. Starting in 2024-25, players who are acquired in a trade are allowed to extend for an additional 4 seasons at 120% of their current salary, or estimated average player salary. One non-extension rule that should benefit players in free agency is adding additional penalties for teams that do not spend. Starting in 2024-25, any team that is below the minimum floor on the first day of the regular season will not receive a tax distribution. The new CBA also created 30 more player jobs, with the addition of a third two-way player spot for each team. There was also significant growth in the non-taxpayer and room mid-level exceptions. The new CBA introduces a second-round exception, benefiting both players and teams. This allows teams to sign second-round picks for more than the minimum without using other exceptions. The NBPA secured equity and ownership opportunities. Marijuana testing is removed, and players gain investment and sponsorship opportunities in sports betting, cannabis, and CBD companies. Pension increases and better benefits for two-way players are also included. Stay tuned for more basketball updates.